Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Rick Alberty, the Executive Director of ChamberSOUTH, and we're here today for another episode of ChamberSOUTH Spotlight. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Bryce Donner. Bryce, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Great. Bryce, tell me about your business. It's called Dimension Architect. Am I correct?
Yep. My name is Bryce Donner. I'm the principal landscape architect at Dimension Design Landscape Architecture. And we're a full-service landscape architecture firm here in South Florida.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, before we get into the business, tell me, who is Bryce Donner?
That's great. Yeah, I grew up here, not too far, in South Miami. Went to school all the way up to Design and Architecture Senior High School, a magnet design school in the design district. I got an amazing design education with amazing teachers and educators, and graduated with an amazing cohort of friends. So I was in the visual communication strand there, and then went off to study landscape architecture at the University of Florida. And in my free time, you might find me outdoors with my dog, or not with my dog. We'll see. Yeah,
That's great. So when you went to design school,
yeah.
Did you think that you would end up in landscaping design?
I had no idea what the profession was at the time.
Really?
And
why did you choose it?
I learned about it at UF. Yeah.
Okay.
I discovered the program and jumped right in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say a landscape architect.
Yes, that's right.
Exactly what I know what an architect does when they want to build a home or build an addition or build a bathroom or things like that. Tell me, what does a landscape architect do?
A landscape architect is like an architect, but for everything outside the four walls of a building.
Everything.
Everything. So hardscape, structures, terraces, pools, outdoor kitchens, even the layout of the buildings themselves can be designed and arranged by a landscape architect.
You see, that expands the role, because I thought that the landscape architect was just going to be landscaping. It's going to be plants, trees, shrubs, things like that. It's not like that.
Absolutely, the plants are included, and we choose the right plants for the right place so that they can grow to maturity to their full size. But there are landscape architects working on mega projects, designing cities and roadscapes and outdoor parks as well. So anything outdoors is designed and planned by a landscape architect.
So being a landscape architect, do you have the knowledge to build the gazebo, to put the specs and everything on there? You do, 100%.
Correct, exactly.
So you can design everything to spec and tell them exactly where you think it fits best and where it doesn't.
Yeah, we provide the drawings. A lot of our work is done in the studio, and then we hand those drawings off to great contractors who execute the design.
Do you ever work directly with a homeowner?
Yes, frequently. For larger homes that have a lot of landscape, they want to work directly with a landscape architect, and we provide that service. Yeah.
Okay. Do you usually work with a homeowner when they first purchase a home, or at any time?
A lot of times we're seeing people buy their new home, and the first thing they want to do is make it their own, and that's when we step in.
Yeah, I do that myself. Whenever I would buy a new home, I already had in my mind, what I wanted to do. But, back in my day, I just did it all myself. But,
sure.
You have this vision in your mind and you want to put certain things in certain places. But I got to tell you, landscaping there's a trick to it, especially when it comes to plants and trees and things like that. What are the proper plants? What are the proper trees? What's the proper height? Will they die? Will they overgrow? Because some plants, my God, they multiply like rabbits, and others don't.
Right.
So I'm going to assume that in your business, you got to have a lot of knowledge when it comes to shrubbery, plants, things like that.
When it comes to plants, they're a living material. So as soon as you put them in the earth, they're either growing or dying, and they're changing shape. So you want to be able to manage and allow that plant to grow into the shape that you want. So a lot of homeowners are very hands-on with that, and some people want to be hands-off, but we're there to consult and advise so that they get the home and the landscape of their dreams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, you own your business. It is yours, 100%.
Correct.
So you work with?
We work with homeowners.
Okay.
We work with architects. We work with contractors. And we work with, occasionally, a great developer with a landscape forward mindset.
Why when you use developer, did you say that? Great developer with that kind of mindset?
A good developer knows their pro forma really well, and they know that landscape gets installed at the end, and they know that they have to hold on to that landscape budget through the development process, which is an unwieldy process. Lots of things come up, and so they have to make sure there's a budget for landscape at the end of the construction process. Yeah.
Let's talk about budget.
Sure.
What homeowner, large home, I don't know, what's usually a budget for a landscape architect?
I'd say if you're working with a half-acre property here in South Florida, you're looking at a budget of about $50,000.
$50,000.
Yeah.
And what does that include?
That's the design fee.
Okay. And that's a design fee of inclusive of whatever the homeowner has in his vision.
Sure.
And whatever you have in your vision, and try to combine them both and put it on paper.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a lot of dialogue back and forth, and the best communication yields the best design product.
How long does it usually take you to create a design?
To create an initial design, it could take a morning, but then,
Really?
but then there's lots of subsequent design to flesh out the design. So that might be just the plan, like the overall arching drawing. But then there's all the details of how the wall meets the pool, how the pool meets the patio, how the patio interfaces with the architecture. So really, the first step is to get an amazing professional survey that shows where everything is. Where's everything located, and what is the elevation? Then you're working with the architect to understand where are the doors and windows? How are people moving through the space? And that dialogue through design unfolds and yields a really spectacular living environment.
That's interesting. I didn't think it'd be that intricate that you would have to find out.
Yeah.
Like the flow of the folks, where will they come? What's the exit and entry points?
Yeah.
What's the levels or the elevations? That's very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
I mean, wow. I didn't think that much went into it. Tell me, what you felt was one of your most difficult jobs you ever did?
Well, every project comes with its own challenges. The land itself is unique. That's what I love about this profession. Each parcel has its own history and future that you're reading into, and making sure the best of it is shown to light, so to speak. So I can say that, and also running a business comes with its own hurdles. Every day is like an obstacle course, and you get up ready to go and you try and meet the day with your fullest. So every day has its own special set of challenges.
Have you ever done a job and you said, this is not what I was envisioning?
I think I've learned a lot over the years. I've learned.
Oh, you know what? Sometimes your biggest mistakes is where you learn the most.
Yeah.
And as long as you learn not to do that mistake again, and you know how to design it.
Yeah.
So tell me, how does a homeowner or a developer or an architect find you?
They can find me here on community newspapers, Spotlight.
Okay.
They can find me on my website,
which is
www.dimension.land.
Okay.
So that's DIMENSION.LAND.
How long have you been doing this for now, Bryce?
The company itself was initiated in November of 2025.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you've been in business now for just about a year.
Something like that, yeah. Coming up.
That's excellent. You've been doing it on your own.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
What did you do before that?
I've been practicing landscape architecture for over 10 years, and I've also been teaching landscape architecture.
Have you really? And where do you teach at?
I have been teaching at a few different universities.
Excellent.
Most recently, that'd be LSU in Louisiana.
Really?
Louisiana State University. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Okay, so tell me about what's the smallest job you've ever done?
That's hard to say because sometimes the small ones grow into bigger ones, and I have to like look back
Expand
as
on
to
that, because I like that.
Yeah, they start off maybe it's a terrace or a front yard, or I mean I've also spec'd plants for planters, and then it grows into in between two buildings. They had a courtyard, and I designed the courtyard. So, like you'd have to cut back to where we started, but they kind of grow from a seed.
Okay. Tell me about why, when someone has decided to move forward and go with a landscape architect, why should they choose you?
That's a great one. There's a lot of landscape architects in this town, a lot of great ones. A lot of them are my friends. And I think my experience brings a special something to the table. My research in coastal resilience is especially relevant here in South Florida. And I bring an element of artistry. I love working with people to make their home feel special and unique and theirs, and see landscape as the potential to be a work of art. Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, especially here in South Florida, I would think that, at least me, a lot of people don't, but I love being outdoor.
Yeah.
Outdoors is the place to be. We've got great weather. We've got beach weather. I mean, sometimes it gets extremely hot, but if you have the right backyard or the right pool area, it's a fantastic time to be outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
And now you guys, I mean, over the years, the way you can build an outdoor area is just unbelievable. The outdoor kitchens, the type of gazebos
exactly
that you could use. Down here, you can even use thatch,
right?
Gazebos. That is, I mean, back in the days, I was crazy about those because it makes it look so authentic with the South Florida vibe.
Yep.
The Mikasukis do a fantastic job. I had one in my first home, and I had one in my second home, and really, it was very cool down there. It doesn't matter how hot it got; those leaves just keep it cool underneath. Yeah. Is that something that you always think about when you're, how to maintain the proper, I'm going to say, temperature? Because now we have cooling systems that got the spritz on and things like that.
I've seen those. Yeah, those are pretty neat.
Yeah, they are.
I think in South Florida, shade is key. So being under the shade of a canopy or a gazebo or some outdoor pavilion makes your outdoor living so much more enjoyable and your home more valuable because you've got more livable space. I mean, half the year we had a winter that pushed all the way into late April here. So I think we have like outdoor living at its finest, really. Yeah. There's
no doubt.
Yeah.
And, we got to take full advantage of that.
Take advantage.
And the way you could take full advantage of that is by calling a landscape architect like yourself.
I love it. I'm here to help. Yep. Absolutely.
Tell the speakers out there, I mean, the listeners out there, why Bryce Donner? Why?
Hey guys, I'm Bryce Donner. I'm your landscape architect, and I'm here to help you build the outdoor garden of your dreams.
Bryce, anything else you want to tell the listeners out there today?
I got to give a shout out to my old mentor, Raymond Jungles. I think a lot of people, we see these gardens nowadays. They're so beautiful and they're lush and they're landscaped, and we take it for granted and we don't know the history of how kind of we got to where we are. And he really shaped a lot of the outdoor spaces that we know and love. And a lot of the rocks, that oolite rock that we see with the porousness through it, and a lot of these philodendrons that we all use, he started specking in his drawings. And so shout out to the man, Raymond Jungles.
Thank you. And let me ask you one more question. How about lighting? Do you also talk about lighting when you're out there?
I love doing lighting designs. I love giving them to my clients. I think half the time your garden is at night, whether you're inside your house looking outside or coming in through your car or you're having an outdoor event, lighting is key.
I tell you what, to me, lighting has always been key.
Yeah.
Because what you can do nowadays in lighting is unbelievable.
Yeah.
The low voltage lighting outside. Now you got the string lights. Now you've got the, those lights that the tape lights, I'm going to call them, that you can just tape them up, change colors. You can control them on your phone.
Yep.
My Lord. And it makes a home look incredible.
Yeah.
The proper lighting, whether it be in color or white, it doesn't matter. You could change it during the year, depending on the size of the tree or the bush or the landscaping. You could also either make it low or high. So those are all ideas that you've got to be thinking about while you're doing your design for the landscaping.
Lighting is the cherry on top.
That's exactly true.
Yes.
That's exactly true. Well, Bryce, thank you so much for being with me here today. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to tell the listeners out there today?
I got to say it, Rick. Shout out to ChamberSOUTH and community newspapers. You guys hook it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On 3, we're going to say goodbye to those cameras right there. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.